Hello, everybody. Dan DeFedericis, an energized Dan DeFedericis for a lot of reasons. Here at Saratoga Report, I am here with a good friend of ours, Bill Teator of Saratoga 250. And we're going to get to what that is towards the end for those of you that don't know. But one of the things that they're doing is coming up in October. Actually, several of the things they're doing are coming up in October, and they're all great events. So, folks, if you've gone with us this far, stick around. We got some great reasons for families to go. Sometimes perhaps adults, but some great events. Bill, how are you doing?
We're great. We're great. Dan, thanks for being such a great friend and partner with us. And I'm coming to you live, so to speak, live to tape from the Champlain Canal Gateway Visitor Center in Schuylerville, right on Ferry Street, next to historic Fort Hardy Park, literally where the British regulars grounded their arms on Surrender Day 248 years ago, October 17th. So this is going to become a great hub over the years ahead for the Saratoga Revolutionary experience.
Yeah, folks, you may have passed the Canal Visitor Center, or maybe you just don't get out to Schuylerville, but it is it's beautiful, it's somewhat new, a great little tourist center, I guess you could say. You got to stop in there, and it's not a long stop that you'll be there, but you really got to check it out as you head out of Schuylerville into Washington County towards the fairgrounds. It's right on your left, just right there, right, Bill?
Exactly right. And there'll be a lot more coming here on Siege Weekend this year as well.
Okay, good. You got us there. Siege Weekend. I am really, as a father with kids or just an adult that loves history, in my many different roles here in life, I'm really excited for this. And boy, I hope the weekend's good. Let's talk about Siege Weekend. Mostly, essentially a free event. That's I hate to use the word education because I don't want to scare off. It's fun. What 10-year-old kid doesn't want to see a cannon get fired? I don't know what exactly the options are there, but can you kind of bring us in there? What Siege Weekend is on October 11th and 12th?
Yeah, that's a perfect lead in, Dan. This is a great fun weekend, our 4th annual Saratoga Siege Weekend, October 11th and 12th. It's with our amazing partners, including the Saratoga National Historical Park, and held at multi-venues. So you'll be out and about in our beautiful falls that we're enjoying again up here in Saratoga and upstate New York. And you'll be able to come to this Champlain Canal Visitor Center, where we will have units of reenactors showing little kids how to march in the order with like wooden muskets. We're actually new this year going to be having draft horses, which are always fun to see, adults or children. They're gigantic. And the reason for that is we're previewing Henry Knox's incredible feat, the noble train of artillery, of which draft horses were a big part of hauling cannon all the way from Fort Ticonderoga to Boston. That 250th is starting off this December, so we're previewing that. And hey,
a couple years before the Turnpike, right, Bill?
Oh yeah. Wilderness travel for sure, but it directly forced the world's most powerful Navy out of Boston, and it went right through our backyard. So we'll be previewing that. You can have wagon rides. You'll see the Knox sled that students at BOCES built being hitched and towed along the Champlain Canal right out here. And that's just at the Champlain Canal Gateway Visitor Center next to Fort Hardy Park, where we're starting off. But down the road, not even a half mile, the famous 1777 General Schuyler House will be a whole array of 18th century living historians. They want to engage with you. There'll be blacksmiths, a working forge there, women talking about healing and feeding an army, great tent with games from the 18th century, and just to engage with Lauren Roberts and our incredible Saratoga 250 leadership team about what else is to come, this year and into the future. So that's extremely entertaining for all adults and children. I'd say children 4 to 16 would find any of that engaging. And I should also backtrack one step. Between 11 and 1 on Saturday, October 11th, at the Champlain Canal Visitor Center, right next to Fort Hardy Park, our great friends at Stewart Shops are unveiling the Knox-themed ice cream and some other choices. So there'll be 2 hours of scooping ice cream here between 11 and 1 on Saturday, October 11th. But just let me finish off. I mean, up to the main events, so to speak, at the battlefield, Saratoga National Historical Park, there'll be multiple stops with British and American small encampments where they will fire muskets. They will be firing cannon. So you can see live fire, out on the actual grounds where this hallowed ground where this history turned America, frankly. And it's all free, it's fun, and it's for all ages.
Bill, I'm excited, and it feels very festive,
Mhm.
and we focus on the family. Are there places where people can get lunch? Are there food trucks? I don't exactly know that element of it.
Yeah, that's a great question, and I'd love to put a plug in here for we're building, hospitality and heritage tourism again for this whole new generation. And so at this weekend, we are starting to incorporate not just the ice cream, which hey, well, you can replace lunch with some ice cream if you want, but there'll be some great friends of like the Fort Hardy Park and others who do small options in the tent right behind the Gateway Champlain Canal Visitor Center with food available, and it supports a good cause. But in Schuylerville, incredible resources. So we're going to be launching the URL, soft launching it this fall to really scale it in the future, where you can go and look at these incredible heritage stops and pick your itinerary to add in great places to go for food or beverage. Literally across the street from this Gateway Visitor Center is Bound by Fate Brewing, tremendous community-minded partners, Kickstarter Cafe for coffee and casual fare. Around the corner on Broad Street, Mama Bear's Kitchen or Mama Bear's Diner, amazing breakfast all day. You could start your day there and take in the rest of these festivities or get your lunch there, and amazing homemade baked goods.
And really nice people. Sorry to interrupt you,
Yeah,
Bill.
very nice.
I was in there
Very
recently.
nice.
All those places on the
Yeah.
main street there.
Oh, yeah.
Little like,
Amigos right up the hill. I mean, so
oh,
you can easily make it a
yes.
day right here. Absolutely. And an evening.
Okay, that's great. And a quick plug for Schuylerville generally. It is up and coming. It
Absolutely.
is a neat little place, and I think it's only going to obviously with what's happening in now and in a couple of years. It's only getting better. If you were thinking of buying and not quite sure about Saratoga City proper, look out that way. The town of Saratoga, the village of Schuylerville, Village of Victory. I think that is really an exciting area.
It is beautiful. And one other, stop that's also a national park ground where we will have some folks, but it's just beautiful to go and kind of cap off what this victory really meant to America is the Saratoga Monument. So that's right up the hill out of the village of Schuylerville. And you can see it from our friends at Saratoga Apple, which, we're at the, October 11th and 12th being prime of like apple season, and their incredible cider donuts over there, or bring some fresh apples home. But you're right around the corner from Saratoga Monument. So that's another stop on Siege weekend, as well as another hospitality place to take in.
There's so many things we could talk about this. Briefly say how they came about. I believe in the 1800s, right, Bill? That people wanted to recognize. We'll stop
Yes.
there.
Yeah, the monument, I mean, a great example. That's approaching its 150th year anniversary of laying its cornerstone. It was laid in 1877, specifically as a centennial 100th year celebration of victory at Saratoga. Again, we call it victory season at Saratoga for a reason, September through October, because the battles were the 19th, October 7th, with an then siege for 10 days where British were fully surrounded and in retreat, forcing their surrender on October 17th. So that monument is beautiful. It's nearing 150 years old and has incredible reliefs and just some really interesting significance of what folks at that era wanted to interpret and remember and honor about this victory.
Great. Yeah, folks, I cannot recommend this Siege weekend enough. I'm truly excited by this, and my kids are going whether they know it or not. But I think they're going to be happy once they recognize what's
well, again, and I'll take
what
not only just for families like yours, Dan, and so many of ours who are fortunate to live in this area, but people in drive time, market, and young adults, it's a great place to get out and have walks. There's beautiful towpath walk between a couple of the sites from Fort Hardy over to Schuyler House and up there around the grounds of the monument. Gorgeous Instagram ready photos, honestly, all over the place this whole weekend.
And that Siege Weekend is not the only thing you've got going in October. It is a busy month with good reason, considering that was the month where everything happened. You've got some other things going on in October as well, Bill.
Absolutely. Right? Yeah. So like we just talked about, the actual history, of the siege led to obviously the surrender. We got 3 ways to celebrate Surrender Day this year. So October 16th, there's a second annual for our benefit to our campaign for Saratoga 250 nonprofit. A wonderful program right in downtown Saratoga Springs this year on October 16th at the Skip Sirocco Music Room, 3rd floor over City Hall. And that will be a great way to hear and learn more about Knox. We're actually going to be previewing a little bit more about Henry Knox with our featured guest speaker, the curator of Fort Ticonderoga, an amazing place that has an incredible history and archives. And Matt Cagle is kind enough to come down and be a featured speaker, touching on that artillery that came from Fort Ticonderoga, made its way all through this wilderness to Boston. Our own Lauren Roberts, chair of the Saratoga 250 Commission, county historian, leading the regional 250th of Knox. We'll talk about what's to come for Saratoga 250's commemorations and, again, some of the December Knox commemorations. We've got an incredible local component to this, where students from high school who are amazing vocalists perform 18th century era music. So that's a wonderful way to, have some entertainment in that program. And we're going to honor some scholarship. We're starting a scholarship for the Turning Point. Initially, the 2 schools in the battle area out here, Stillwater and Schuylerville, have been high school seniors have been invited to apply. And we will hope to have them read their winning essays, one from each school. So another way that we really are engaging the community in this heritage that's in our backyard.
This is a multifaceted presentation. Is that how you would describe it? Or?
Yeah. There's a program elements where we, kick off obviously with, the patriotism and honoring our revolutionary heritage, but are inviting in, like I said, this year, because we have a unique chance to preview the Henry Knox Noble Train of Artillery's 250th throughout the whole region, all the way to Boston. And we'll do a little trailer actually there. There'll be a sneak trailer of a docu episode we're producing, 30-minute episode that'll come out next March. So there'll be a little teaser on video. So it's kind of a variety program. Yeah, you're going to hear some incredibly talented local vocalists, inspired young essayists who are going to get some help, with their next higher education or wherever they choose to go beyond high school. But you'll hear from people like Dr. Cagle and Lauren Roberts, with some engaging presentation on history.
And unlike Siege Weekend, which is free, this requires people to register, I believe, Saratoga250.com/events and purchase at a reasonable price some tickets.
Absolutely. $35. It's just a net benefit to our nonprofit. If you like what you're seeing and hearing and want to see more of it, this is a simple way to get engaged right in our community. We hope a very approachable price and a way to do that and learn more and tell more of your family and friends about, what's really amazing about our revolutionary heritage here in Saratoga.
Okay, folks, the URL is right there. Basically, Saratoga250.com. Then just go to the events and to go from there. And you've got other things going. You haven't stopped there, have you?
Yeah, no, not at all. 3 ways to celebrate Surrender Day. We really want October 17th to be on top of mind for our whole region and beyond going forward. So following up that benefit, which will be the Thursday evening, the 16th, the night before, to the credit of the community out here in town of Saratoga, Schuylerville, and nearby school systems for decades have been honoring at the Fort Hardy Park Hudson Riverfront, which is really a beautiful little vista right down by a kayak or a little sloop, a boat launch in the Fort Hardy Park. They, for decades, have been commemorating the sword surrender of General Burgoyne to American General Gates. It's a really patriotic, engaging for young children event. Schuylerville school system, is so close by. Their fourth grade comes over in entirety. We do invite and hope to have some other, like across the river in Washington County, school systems coming. I know some private schools are bringing their cohorts of students, and we're trying to reach anybody who has kids. Like if you have children who are just preschool or out of school for whatever reason, it's Friday, October 17th. You come down there, weather permitting in this case, it's 9:30 a.m. and they'll be singing. Those school students from Schuylerville march in with British reenactors. There's reenactors, living historians portraying General Burgoyne and General Gates, taking down the British flag, putting up the American flag, simulating a sword surrender, simulating the toasts that were actually toasts after this victory by patriots. And then we have cannon firing again, of course, live cannon fire over the beautiful Hudson Riverfront right there. It's a fun, hour-long, really engaging, family-friendly, small children-ready event. And you'll hear from some other folks, of course, from the National Historical Park, Lauren again, and some other leaders from the community here about why we're all excited and what we're all doing to keep this heritage alive.
I can't overemphasize just how incredible all this is. We've got this history here. We've always had it here. I felt like it's maybe been, at least in some segments, myself included, a little underappreciated. Mm-hmm. And this is sort of a catalyst for, kind of like a watershed moment in my book anyway, that by, within the next year or two, people are going to fully understand and fully appreciate. And it's not all about the track and Live Nation concerts here in Saratoga, and there's a lot more here in Saratoga, of course. But we tend to focus on the bling, and this is bling. People just don't realize it yet.
And we all work together. I mean, that's the greatest thing. Like we work so well hand in hand across, largely due to the Saratoga County leadership really making this a major priority, investing time, energy, and talent, tying together these stakeholder groups so that this heritage of the revolution and our America's turning point is, heralded again for another 50 years and another attraction for people near and far to Saratoga. So credit to them, and I'm glad you always observe that, Dan. You're dead on set.
I'm excited by it. Let's go to we've got a bus tour going on.
Yes. So on the afternoon, wonderful day on a Friday afternoon to take a roughly 3-hour tour right out of the Champlain Canal Gateway Visitor Center with our own Sean Kelleher. He's the vice chair of Saratoga 250, an incredible stalwart organizing that morning annual ceremony with the school children. He's going to roll right into your guided tour as a town of Saratoga historian, a longtime living historian himself, leaving here at Champlain Canal at 1 p.m. It'll be back to the same place you started, and plenty of parking right here in Fort Hardy Park for your car. You'll come right back here by 4 p.m. and then take stops where the history happened. You'll go by the monument we discussed before and hear about that era of interpretation. Obviously out to the battlefield and a couple of particular stops that are highlighted in our event webpage, and then back through the actual sword surrender site, which is a beautiful vista looking out toward the Hudson where General Burgoyne actually surrendered, and through General Schuyler's, 1777 estate, right back here in the heart of downtown Schuylerville. Again, 1 to 4 on the tour. That is a ticketed event. Tickets available through our Saratoga250.com events page. And you have time to either grab lunch, again, at these great places we've talked about and more in the Schuylerville area, or to get off the bus and go across the Bound by Fade or up to Amigos or any other place to have a little happy hour and dinner. So it's a nice day for October 17th, Surrender Day.
I really want to go to that because I've actually read a book about the Saratoga battles, but that was 20 years ago. So to take this bus tour, that's pretty exciting to me. I believe.
Yeah.
Do you have capacity? If it fills up, you get in a second bus? How is that going to work?
Well, we keep, demonstrating the interest, right? So we did this last year. We filled up a slightly smaller bus. This year we have a regular coach size bus. We've got about 45 of 55 tickets available right now. So there's it's limited. We expect it to go. I don't know that we'll have the ability to add. But again, the more we see demand, the more we're going to try and prime the pump, so to speak, and spike interest. That's again back to some of the strategic goal you touched on. I mean, there's a, we're going to put together as much programming as we can justify and support, and see what demand is like. And God willing, there'll be demand for other people to want to add tours and become more tour guides, for our revolutionary heritage out here.
Okay, and briefly, to close up here, wrap this all together in a bow, talking about 2027 for those that aren't familiar with the big picture from 80,000 feet.
Yes. Great. So yeah, Saratoga 250 is what it sounds like. Folks may have been hearing about America 250, which really just starts heading into July 4th next year. That's really not belittling it. It's an incredible declaration of our independence, right? But that was the kickoff to try and create a nation of self-determination. And the following year of 1777, the campaign of the Northern Campaign around Saratoga that led to this incredible world-changing victory, first time British Field Army surrender here, is what we're, the catalyst for celebration. So in 2027, the 250th of this surrender, we will have on that same weekend what we've been conditioning folks for, hopefully Siege Weekend, that year in 2027, it will become an 18th century full battle reenactment encampment with reenactments on Saturday and Sunday of the same weekend. We will lead in later in that week to an actual large-scale October 17th Surrender Day event. So stay tuned, but we really intend to wrap that week from what's been Siege Weekend to a full-scale 250th commemorative reenactment of battles on 2 different days. And also, frankly, on Friday, a school children, field trip day to visit living historians in advance of the battles. And then we'll lead right into the 250th surrender ceremony and a large scale event. So that's going to be an exciting time, a lot of work to do, but we have incredible enthusiasm, great emerging stakeholders, and plenty of time in some respects, thanks to the county, in large respects, thanks to the county's leadership, starting so early, 2021, forming their commission, led by Lauren Roberts, authorized and highly supported by the Board of Supervisors and the administrator, and then into groups like ours, a nonprofit community-based group that are just continuing to try and scale the interest and the attention on this incredible history, so that our 250th is really just a catalyst to hopefully, like we've said, the next 50 years in our region, sustaining interest in our contribution in Saratoga to America's founding.
And in 2027, Bill, the way I'm envisioning it, maybe I'm picturing it wrong, and I don't want to scare people off, but there's going to be thousands of people coming. Is that correct?
Correct. Oh yeah, I mean, we hope to have at least 1,000 just living historians out here on the battlefields or on a place simulating battle.
Okay.
So yeah, that's just from the participants. So yeah, we hope to attract 10,000 people across various venues throughout a period of days. And we're still exploring other entertainment, right? We realize, weather dependency obviously is a big deal on the outside encampment and battle reenactment, but we'd love to program things in downtowns like Schuylerville, in the villages of Stillwater that are near the battlefield, and back into Saratoga Springs, where we have so many hospitality amenities, and create a real festive environment with, again, we do great with festive environments in Saratoga County. So this is just a natural in 2027 to have decorating contests and windows on the main streets, period themed, folks maybe inside serving themed dinner menus for at least that weekend, if not for a week or two.
Right.
So that's really the ambiance and the goal we want to create, that it is that edutainment. It's fun, you learn, but you're having a great time and really seeing a part of our history brought back to life. So all of that is part of the goal. And one more plug, you'll be seeing this with these events. Saratoga Revolutionary Experience is going to become our sustained way of communicating, programming, opportunities to put your hospitality outing together with history for the longer term, because 250th comes in 2027, but we definitely don't intend for it to expire. We want to keep honoring that whole founding era, which actually goes to 2033. And also make known Saratoga Revolutionary Experience is here to stay. Here's how you can take in your history and enjoy all that great hospitality.
Great. And my final plug is your YouTube page, which let me get that there. It's scrolling on the bottom. You've got a treasure trove of videos there of what's going on, and just the offshoot stories, the Lady Ackland story, the Henry Knox, and all these things. This is, you don't need Netflix, folks. Just go to the YouTube channel there, and you're going to be both informed and entertained as well. Fascinating stories, and some of them are so, I don't want to say peripheral, but they have that human interest element. Maybe not directly involved with the battle, but the human interest story is just as compelling.
Yeah. Well, we're following the lead of great people who really understand that engagement and relatability of personal stories are where and when people find their history entertaining, and find it enjoyable. So to, again, Lauren Roberts' credit at the lead of the Saratoga 250 effort, we've definitely set out to produce content in video format, the augmented reality that's coming, that will live inside the Saratoga Revolutionary Experience, that will tell personal stories. And that's, you can put yourself in those shoes when you hear from women who were made prisoner of war after the victory here, and had 3 little children, the Baroness, as she's known, and many, many other such stories that we will continue to bring out.
Terrific. Bill, we got to keep talking before October 11th. Folks, we're going to end where we started. October 11th and 12th. If those are let me find that banner there. That's a Siege weekend. That's must. Let's hope we have a little bit of that September weather on that weekend and carry it forward. And either way.
Yeah, it's rain or shine, but you're absolutely right. We've been blessed with one amazing day the last 2 years, and one day that a little wetter. But I will say, last year, even on Sunday when it rained, as it let up a bit, people were back out. So the interest seems to be there. Again, fun and edutainment, across the board for every age. Love to see it.
Excellent. Bill, thanks for joining us. This is exciting.
Yeah, of course. It's fun, Dan. Thanks for having us.
Take care.
Take care.